Hey, what's going on guys? RageTrain here and welcome back to a brand new video on Hypixel Skyblock guys. And today we have a super exciting one because Hypixel Skyblock just dropped the 0.7.5 update, which includes a bunch of new changes mostly centered around this new winter event. So I'm just going to go through and show you guys all the new things that have come along with this update. So the first and probably most major of things added with this update is the brand new winter island, which is going to be housing the winter event. So currently, as this update is rolling out right now, and this event hasn't started yet, no one has actually been able to access the winter island, but they did post a zoomed out screenshot of the winter island on the forum, so I'm gonna put that up on screen right now for you guys. So obviously this is pretty zoomed out, so we can't see all the little details, everything, all the NPCs and stuff that might be on the island, but we can kind of see it doesn't look like it's gonna be a super tiny island. It definitely doesn't look huge in comparison to the hub island or anything, but it seems to be a moderately sized island, so hopefully that also means it'll come with a moderate amount of new content for us all to enjoy. But now this island will open up for the entirety of the late winter month, so you can see currently as I'm recording this and probably as it gets uploaded, we are still going to be towards the end of the early winter. So after early winter, we still have the whole month of winter, but then it will be the late winter, and you can see on day one of late winter, Jerry's workshop, which is the new winter island, will open up. And if you actually go to late winter, you can see on the far right when you hover over it how long it is until it opens up. Right now for me, it'll open up in 14 hours. And then you can see roughly 7 to 7.5 hours, I think, after the winter island opens up, the Jerry workshop or season of Jerry event will start. And you can see this will last for 3 days, which I think is roughly 1 hour. And the first ever season of Jerry event is going to be happening 21 hours from the time I record this video. Obviously, if you want to see the exact time it's going to be happening for you, I believe they have the times posted on the forums, and you can also just open up your Skyblock calendar and check. Now, we don't have a lot of details about what's going to actually be happening during this event, but I will quickly read off the brief description they gave in the forums post. They said, for 1 hour, things get pretty chaotic as the workshops are under attack. Defend them at all costs. For that, you will need to talk to Frosty, which I'm assuming is some snowman NPC, at the entrance of the island. He will reward you his snow cannon, which I'm assuming is what you're going to use to defend the island, which it says will be very useful. Now, in terms of what you will be rewarded with for completing and placing well in the event, those will come in the form of gifts. There are 3 types of gifts, which they say all have similar rewards, but the red gifts will have the best rewards, the green gifts will have the second best rewards, and the white gifts will have the worst rewards. And again, obviously no one has access to the winter island yet, so no one has a gift, but on the forums they say once you get a gift, all you will have to do to open it is walk up to a player and right click the gift on them. So just pretend that this bartender is another player for the sake of this video. And the interesting thing is not only will you get the rewards, but the player you right click it on will also get the rewards. And then just like in the spooky event, the theme of the hub here will actually change while the winter event is going on. And they did post a screenshot on the forums of this winter hub theme, so I'll put that up on the screen for you guys right now. Obviously no massively crazy changes to anything, but just a nice little winter theme to get you in the holiday mood, I guess. And then obviously the main thing that you guys are going to be excited about with this update is the new items that have been added. Now obviously a lot of these we will not know until the first winter event happens, about 14 hours from now. So I may be making another video, I guess, around this time tomorrow, showcasing the new items that have been found once we've experienced the first event. But thankfully we have gotten at least one leak from these items that'll be obtainable somehow through the event, and that is this Yeti sword here, which is a new legendary sword, so it'll be able to get some very nice reforges. It has 150 damage, 150 strength, and 50 intelligence. To compare that to the aspect of dragons here, you can see my aspect of dragons would have 225 base damage and 100 base strength. So the Yeti damage has a lot less base damage, but actually has quite a bit more base strength. And the aspect of dragons comes with no base intelligence, whereas this one comes with 50. And another awesome thing about this Yeti sword is its item ability, which is called Terrain Toss, which throws a chunk of terrain in the direction you're facing and deals up to 4,000 damage, which is a lot. With a maximum range of 32 blocks, it has a very high mana cost of 250, but a cooldown of only 1 second. So if you have a lot of mana, man, you could be dealing potentially a lot of damage. Obviously though, a weapon this powerful is going to have a very expensive crafting recipe. And then a new minion has been added in the snow minion. I have not yet crafted this minion, so I can't show you guys exactly what it would look like and all the different crafting recipes to upgrade it, but I assume you guys can kind of imagine what the crafting recipes would be like. It's just going to be the minion with a bunch of snow around it. And actually one interesting side note about that really quickly is snow is selling for a lot right now because of this update. You can see 8 enchanted snow blocks right here, which I don't really think is that much snow, is going for 350k. Just a regular, just one stack of snow blocks here going for 140k. A stack of snow blocks here going for like 50k. So yeah, obviously these prices are pretty high right now, but I have a feeling that once we all have access to the winter island, we're going to be able to get snow pretty easily. So I'm personally holding off on bidding on any of that stuff to craft the new snow minions right off the bat, because I have a feeling that a lot of these people are very, very much overpaying at the moment in order to be like first to access to new content or whatever. Now, another huge part of this update here is the revamping of the ice collection. There are 5 new things, I believe, that have been added to the ice collection here. The first one is the ice bait recipe, which gives you a plus 20% chance to catch winter sea creatures, which are brand new sea creatures that you will only be able to fish up on the winter island. Then enchanted packed ice, obviously we showed that off just a second ago. You'll need it to craft the new Yeti sword, and I'm assuming a bunch of other items as well. There is the new frozen scythe here, which kind of has an expensive crafting recipe with one whole stack of enchanted packed ice needed to craft it. And unless I'm missing something, it honestly doesn't seem like that great of an item. Maybe it'll have some cool use for the actual like winter island or the event that goes on there, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Then now in ice tier 9, you can actually get an upgraded version of the blaze armor called frozen blaze armor. It is very, very similar to blaze armor. Actually, it's pretty much identical, except for the fact you get a bonus 20 strength on each piece and a bonus 20 defense on each piece. And then finally, in the ice 10 collection, there's a very interesting new fishing rod here called the auger rod, which is obviously going to be very, very useful for fishing up those new winter sea creatures on the winter island, as it triples the chance of the sea creatures you spawn to be winter sea creatures. And it also increases your fishing speed by 50%. Once again though, kind of an expensive crafting recipe here. It takes 2 stacks of enchanted packed ice, but it may be worth it in order for you to be able to fish up those winter sea creatures, because one of the drops and like stats of one of the winter sea creatures called a Yeti actually leaked. I'll put the screenshot of that up on the screen for you guys right now as well. You can see it can drop a red gift, which we already discussed is the best type of gift, a hilt of true ice, which you would need to craft the Yeti sword. It drops a Yeti rod as well, which I'm assuming is some very, very OP type of fishing rod, and a hunk of blue ice. Not sure what that's used for, but once again, I'm gonna just assume it's useful for something. And the final thing that we found out so far about this winter update is that the Jerry's Workshop location, or the winter island, whatever you want to call it, will have 5 new fairy souls, because you can see when I go to my fairy souls guide here, they have added Jerry's Workshop fairy souls 0 out of 5. And now, even though that's actually all of the stuff that has to do with the winter update that we know of so far, they actually also did drop some huge balancing changes with this update. A lot of you guys probably already know about these changes though, because they've been discussed on the forums for probably about like 2 to 3 weeks now, I think. And there are just like so freaking many of them. I'm not even gonna try and go through all of them, but I will be linking the forums post down in the description of the video if you guys want to go through and read through all the new balancing changes. But I do want to make a quick note to actually say, let me know if you guys would like me to make a separate video kind of going over like what new armor and weapons and stuff might be better now after the balancing update, and what new armors and weapons are not worth going for at all anymore after these balancing changes. And then that about does it for all the actual changes made in the update. But one quick little note they did leave on the bottom of the forums post, which a lot of you are probably going to be interested in, is a note on dungeons and future content. So a couple of the interesting points on dungeons that they made in this little note is, one, that dungeons are randomly generated, so you will never play the same dungeon twice, and they have multiple difficulty tiers that scale way beyond the current late game. So obviously those 2 things are super, super exciting in the development of dungeons, because that means once dungeons release, there's basically going to be unlimited content, because no matter what stage of the game you're at, you should be able to participate in some difficulty of the dungeon tier, unless maybe you're really, really early game, because I imagine they'll have some sort of like base level of gear you need to have to be able to do well in it. But then on top of that, since the dungeons are randomly generated, you'll basically be playing like a new version of the dungeon every single time you go into it, so you can constantly be having new experiences playing it. So that's really exciting to hear about. And then in terms of release date, they did unfortunately say they still have no ETA on it, but the bright side of things is they mentioned they can see the end of the tunnel, which hopefully means that dungeons will be coming at some point within the next 1 to 2 months. That's kind of what I would imagine, that like seeing the end of the tunnel would classify as, which may feel like a bit too long of a wait for a lot of you guys out there, but at least it sounds like dungeons are getting somewhat closer to a release and aren't like not even close to being finished at all yet and aren't going to be coming for like the next year or something crazy like that. But yeah, I think that about covers it in terms of this update now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed hearing about everything new that's changing with this update, and hopefully you guys have a lot of fun once that Winter Island opens up and you're able to participate in the event. Once again, I will be posting the 0.7.5 patch notes forums post in the description of this video, so if you guys want to check that out, definitely be sure to do so. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Peace.